looks like we're going. So, welcome to another wonderful Winning Wednesday. I am your host, Sabrina Wood, trying something new today. Um, Trying this from my phone instead of my laptop. So, I want to say that up front to kind of see how things go. Hopefully, the volume is well. Ran into some snafus with Facebook, so we're trying it from the phone instead of the laptop today. So you all give me feedback. Let me know if this is better or worse than previous recordings. I definitely want to hear from you. So, like I said, I'm Sabrina Wood. I'm a thriving mom that helps to teach other women how to really live their dreams by creating a strategy to achieve their financial freedom or their financial peace. You can also find me on Instagram as Sabrina the Co-Strategist as well. So now we've kind of gotten all of the administrative pieces out, I want to dive in a little bit today in specific to mindset. What we're really going to focus on for the month of August is really just mindset. Last week we started talking about gratitude and how being grateful can really clarify the mind and focusing on the things that are going well instead of getting into that mind loop of focusing on things that are not going quite as well. So I wanted to move that even further into the financial realm today and talk a little bit more about really that B word, but we're going to rename it to directing your money and just coming face to face with your spending habits and addressing how you are managing your money and more mindful ways that you can approach it. And creating those habits that help you to reach your long-term and short-term goals financially. But first I want to talk about how do you even set goals so that you can begin to identify where you need to fix things, because a lot of times we're afraid to set those goals because for multiple reasons. We're told that we can't achieve them. We're told that that's for other people to achieve that. That's not for us. And it's for everyone. Men, women, young, older. So I want to talk a little bit about that from a very specific angle, and that's directing your money. So when we talk about directing your money, what does that look like? It starts by facing you. And that's sometimes the hardest thing that we can do for ourselves is face ourselves. We have to come to grips with how we're using money on a regular basis. And we have to look at it daily is what I highly recommend for clients in the beginning, because a lot of times what I've seen is people fall victim to knowing I make this much money so I can spend this much, but we forget to stop to evaluate those what ifs and those one-off things that we run into on a consistent basis, whether it's family related, personal, friends. So we fail to evaluate where we are. A lot of times we have this thought that, well, we've made all this money, so it should be more than enough to cover our expenses, and we can spend freely because, well, we know we've paid the rent or the mortgage, we've kept our lights on, we've paid the car note, and we've managed our insurances. But how do you move forward beyond the necessities of life? So I want to talk about directing your money and simple ways that you can really begin to think about what does that look like. One of the hardest things, but simplest things that you can do to really begin to navigate on that journey is looking at your account. I know it's tough sometimes because we want to turn a blind eye to it. We don't want to see where our money is going, and that's where we fall victim to having our money direct us, because we're spending, but not taking into account how it's being spent. Is it even going to the places we want it to go? But we have these pie in the sky hopes and dreams. One day I will, I hope, I should, but we're not taking the moment to be accountable for our current actions. So directing your money looks like this. one simple thing that you can do each day after you've waken up, you've done your morning ritual, and I can share a little bit about mine. And I wake up, mine involves prayer, reading time. Lately, I've been trying to work into the exercise piece a couple days a week as well. And then in the morning before I dive into work, I look at my bank account. I want to see where my money is going. I want to make sure that it has been cleared for all the things that I know that I've purchased, because I've been mindful to create the B word, which is budget, so that I can direct my money in the way that I want it to go. So with that, you're just looking. You're not even taking the steps. We'll get to actually creating a budget. But let's just start by looking at where your money's going on a consistent basis. How are you using your finances? What goals have you set? What things are you talking about that you haven't quite created the strategy for? That are those things aligning with your daily spending habits, your weekly spending habits? How does that work for you? So I want you to just take a moment to pause and think about, am I in a place where I'm willing to face me? Because really looking at your account is facing yourself. You have to address that woman in the mirror, that man in the mirror, to go, okay, these are the things I chose to spend my money on. Once you've done that and you begin to see this on a regular basis, it begins to shift your mind. It begins to shift your thinking, because you're seeing Amazon got the bulk of my money this week, and I could have potentially put some of that into a partial Amazon stock. Or, if it's Walmart, because you had to get groceries or you had to buy things for the kids going back to school, did we overspend? Do they have more outfits than necessary? Do they have more shoes than they need? So we have to stop and take account for the choices that we're making. And looking at your bank account to actually see that ledger showing you all of the ins and outs of your money is one way to really take a pause and be accountable for what you have been given. It's a moment that you can even express gratitude for seeing the income that you do receive and being able to see the outpouring of what you have in the places that it is going. Because there are a lot of legitimate places that we're putting our money and being able to give to others, as well as meet our own needs. And that is something worth being grateful for, because I'm always going to bring it back to gratitude. And I want you to take that pause each day to see, where is my money going? We won't even break it down yet as to how to write that budget, or finding those free tools online if you want to take that next step to just create that budget, or even track your spending is what I would say your next step should be. Writing down who is consistently getting your money. And a lot of banks actually have tools in place that you can use that are absolutely for free just because you bank with them. For example, Bank of America has a budget chart, and it tells you whether you've spent on merchandise, on utilities, if you've put your money in savings, if you're spending below the amount that you're actually taking in, or if you're consistently spending above your means. But again, that requires accountability and taking that pause to really reflect on, how am I directing my money? So I want you to begin to think about what you're doing on a daily basis when it comes to money management. How can you step up in a different way and begin to evaluate just your daily habits before you begin to set those long-term goals and create those strategies to achieve, whether it's that next trip, whether it's taking on someone for cleaning services, if that helps to make your life easier, or a personal chef, or if you're looking for a trainer, whatever your goals are. As you can tell, those are a few of mine. whatever your personal goals are, how are you directing your money now on a daily basis so that you can begin to achieve that? If Amazon is getting all of your money and you're noticing that things that you're purchasing from there don't really align with your goals and there's not really a return on that investment, it's not meeting a need or a necessity, then you have to think, okay, well, was it worth it for me to really take that moment to just have that splurge? Or do I need to pause and reevaluate and put that money in a different bank? So I don't want to go any further than that. I try to keep it short, but I wanted to just encourage you today to look at your account. That is one of the most powerful things that you can do when you begin to take ownership of how you are directing your money. As we continue in the month of August, I will go further with other mindset tools and tips that we can use to really take ownership of our finances. But as always, thank you for listening. I see several of you jumped on today. While I'm live, others have been watching it afterwards. I greatly appreciate your likes, your shares, your comments, and I look forward to seeing your direct messages, your text messages, all of it. So if I can be here to support you in any way, please let me know. If there are subjects that you want to hear about, please let me know that too. But again, thank you. And as long as you keep listening, I'll keep talking. So have a wonderful week. And thank you again for just being awesome.